हेलो हेलो। तेरा साउंड चल ही रहा है बैकग्राउंड। बैकग्राउंड दे रखा है। तुम कैसे पता चलेगा मेरी आवाज? तेरा तो साउंड ये ऐसा करती है। हेलो। आपका
The was little off me. We'll take a minute more, then precisely we'll start. If any of your colleagues are outside, would request you to also call them in. थोड़ा आप एक है a humble request, if you can till then just please turn your mobile phones to silent mode. Just a request. बस हो गया उसका शरीर very good evening. It's my esteemed pleasure to welcome each one of you to BW Auto 40 Under 40 Summit and Awards 2025. This summit will serve as a platform to elevate auto leadership by championing transformative changes, technological advancements, sustainability, and also evolving consumer preferences. The theme for this summit is based on imaging mobility, also reimagining it. The panelists will discuss about driving India's auto transformation with tech, with sustainability, and also new consumer realities. And after that, we also have a BW Auto 40 Under 40 Award ceremony. And because a couple of our panelists have to move very quickly, they have a hard stop in the next couple of minutes. We'll dive into the panel discussion, and then, of course, we'll also have a formal opening slash a welcome by Dr. Batra. But just to let each one of you know कि आज का जो summit is being streamed live on www.bwautoworld.com. And any picture that you take, any view that you share online, please use the hashtag BWAuto40 under 40, where 40 is numeric. Big thank you to our partners, the Thick Shake Factory, Joy Travels Private Limited, Exchange for Media, IWM Buzz, Impact, Phantom, and also Bailey Coffee. Quickly, the panel discussion, it's on reimagining mobility 2030, driving India's auto transformation. As India aspires to be a $5 trillion economy, one of the legacy sectors that have transformed the fastest is ours, which is the automotive industry. This is moving from ICE vehicles to EVs, embracing AI, software-defined vehicles, and of course also adapting to the newer consumer realities. Exactly, roadwork kya hai? What's the future that each one of us is envisioning? What's the consumer expecting? Where are we headed? Where have we till now? और क्या क्या आगे होने वाला है? To talk about that and more, please join me in welcoming our panelists for the same. Of course, joining us virtually is Amit Saharia, Group President Strategy, Hinduja Group. Joining us here is Nimish Trivedi, CEO and co-founder of Evera Cabs. Joining them is Poonam Upadhyay, Director. Crystal Ratings. Also joining them is Som Kapoor, Partner and Future of Mobility Leader, EY Parthenon India. And also joining them is Dr. Natwar Karel, Vertical Head, People Strategy, Hyundai Motor India. And this session will be chaired by Utkarsh Agarwal, Editorial Lead, BW Auto World. Let's please welcome them with your applause. थैंक यू जस्ट टू लेट यू नो कि इसके बाद अवार्ड्स भी हैं जहां 40 विजेता हैं अगर यही आपका जोश रहा तो वहां तक नहीं जा पाएंगे लेट्स ट्राई टेक टू एंड वेलकम देम लवली
Hello. Hello. Good evening, everyone. Thank you for your time here, firstly. And I'm delighted to host this session on the topic Reimagining Mobility 2030, Driving India's Auto Transformation with Technology, Sustainability, and New Consumer Realities. As we all know, as India aspires to be a $5 trillion economy, one of the legacy sectors that has transformed the fastest is automotive. And automotive sector is witnessing once in a lifetime kind of a shift from internal combustion engine vehicles to electric vehicles, embracing AI to software defined vehicles, and shifting from traditional ownership models to shared, connected, and sustainable mobility ecosystems. But as we look ahead, the road to 2030, there's several questions that come to our mind. One of it is our policies and infrastructure evolving fast enough to support this transformation? How are the technology, sustainability, and new consumer expectations reshaping business models? And what role will collaborations across government, industry, startups, and investors play in defining the future of Indian auto sector? To discuss some of these questions, we have eminent panel over here. So I'll quickly dive into the panel and ask few of the questions. I'll start with you by asking, when you imagine mobility by 2030, what does the mobility look like to you, and which technologies like EV, hybrid, hydrogen, or which technology do you see dominating the future by 2030? So I'll start with you.
Thanks. Well, if I knew the exact answer, I'll be a billionaire, right?
Okay.
Because I'll invest in those technologies. So this is going to be a little fluid, but essentially what's happening right now, the way I kind of look at it is, automotive is going to change in four parallels. There are going to be four parallences. Some people call it case. Some people call it ACEs. I call it ACEs. ACEs is autonomous, connected, electrified, and subscribed. That's the way we're actually looking at that's the paradigm with which we automotive will shift. I mean, some of them may be bigger. I mean, like you mentioned, electrified, mildly put, everything from smart hybrid to electrified to hydrogen to within electrified. I don't know which battery technology is going to win it. Is it going to be our current set of technologies? Is it going to be graphene? Is it going to be XYZ that is coming through right now? So there's plenty of dollars that's put up at stake for all of this. But what I can just tell you, the big shift that I look at it is automotive between now and 2030 will change more in the next 5 years than it's changed in the last 50. So the amount of change that's anticipated within ACEs is going to be so significant that people who don't get attuned with the new world will stay behind, and these changes are they're there to stay. You will see new business models, you will see new players, you will see government intervention at a very different level, and you will also see the way the environment reacts to it. Because a lot of the work that will happen in the next 5-7 years will be how the environment reacts to that change. So I mean, a few of us, our jobs are safe, and for a few of us, our jobs are not safe. Because if we don't tune up, if your engine's not tuned correctly in the next 5 years, like you move from carburetor to MPFI, that was a significant change. Your engine won't survive this change.
Okay, so we're going to witness a major shift in the next 5 years. That's what you're saying. But Nimish, before I come to you, I'll go across to Amit, who has joined us virtually. Amit, if you can give us the overall, your opening comments. If you imagine mobility by 2030, what does it look to you, and which technologies do you see dominating the future?
Hello, everyone, and congratulations to the winners of the event from what all has transpired during the day. Seemed like a fairly interesting agenda. I do agree with the views shared earlier. I think the way 2030 would pan out, in the current era, given the different technologies that are playing a role here, I think it would be difficult to pin it down to a specific technology as such. Having said that, I think there is going to be a fair bit of adoption that would happen when it comes to the alternate technology side of it. While we have the traditional setups, the traditional, petrol diesel powertrain, which shall exist. I mean, it will taper down over time, but be it the EV side of things, be it hydrogen, all of those technologies and a few others are expected to play a role. I think, having said that, within the different technologies, I think EV per se may take shape faster. The targets, while the targets are about almost 30% penetration, I don't think that's what we're going to reach by then. But having said that, with the specific technologies within EV playing out, I would say that we should be bullish on electric batteries ramping up considerably higher compared to some of the other technologies.
All right. So you say majorly electric is the future, but Nimish, what are your views? How do you see the future?
I think I clearly see it going the electric way, because the way electric has evolved over the last 5 7 years, and the way we have seen disruptions happening on the technological side in terms of the batteries getting better, in terms of the ranges getting better, you don't see other technologies doing that far better as of now, proven on the road. So you have EVs which are actually proven on the ground, and I really see for 2030, which is a smaller period time, EVs are going to be the talking point. So yes, surely yes, there's going to be a lot of disruptions in terms of the BMS and other related things as well. But for now, I would say that we have to stay focused on the EV side, while other innovations will continue to keep happening. But for now, the focus for India, so to say, on 2030, the take would be on the EV side. That's what I have my limited point to make there.
Natwa, what do you think? You were with Hyundai, so how do you see the Hyundai moving towards the future?
Yeah, thank you. Firstly, the auto industry is seeing a 100 years paradigm change, the way it works, the way the business is. So having said this, next 2030, it's still predictable. It's not so clear and predictable, but we're all there. In simple terms, it is going to be game for all. It definitely, you will see high penetration, because you're comparing the 1% going to 5% and 5% going to 10% on EV. You will see a high penetration over there, but it's going to be a game for all. So you have to have a balanced mix of ICE, hybrid, hydrogen, electric, and all. So, and very important is how you have leveraged your business plan, your business model to sustain it, and sustainability would be a key factor. Don't forget to understand the power energy does play a key role, and the geopolitical scenario will drift the prices of the fuels too. So it determines on the situation where we are in 2030, but it's important that you got to be very fluid to understand where and what situations. You should be ready for anything, but yes, the game for all. That's my meaning.
We should be ready for anything. But Poonam, what do you think the OEM should be moving towards? What are your views?
Okay, so maybe I'm more coming in from the rating angle. I see it little differently. I am seeing Indian mobility by 2030 to be beyond vehicles and having a full ecosystem of cleaner fuels, a dense charging network, and then a connected infrastructure. All of this is something which is going to be very critical when we really talk about the Indian mobility. Electrification definitely is going to be there across segments, but definitely I still see there is long way to go when it comes to the passenger vehicle side, because there I think it will still be a bit of a gap than what we are really envisaging, and that's where the hybrids may really come in from that side. Any one specific technology, I think that what I am envisaging will be a mix of multiple technologies for us to really achieve what we are talking about, a sustainable and digital, and then the consumer centric mobility that we are talking about. So little different, but that is how I see the Indian mobility by 2030.
So majorly all the panelists here spoke about that it will be a mix of all the technologies, but EVs has emerged as one of the major focus. So Amit, how do you see the pace of EV adoption as of yet, especially for commercial vehicles? How do you see the EV adoption growing?
Yeah, so I would like to break it into segments, right? If I look at buses, I think the adoption has been faster. Would be fair to take it that we should be reaching about 15% or so, give or take few basis points, 15% or so by 2030. Having said that, if I look at purely on the, state-run STU buses, there I would say that the penetration may actually even get north of 30-35%. So which is good. Now coming to the truck segment, I think when you're looking at the heavy segment there, in there about 2030 maybe about 5% penetration. Having said that, again, use cases which are more to do with closed loop. Let's take cement, let's take steel, and a few of those. That I think is where one can even expect penetration going up to all the way up to 20%. So it's a very segment level answer, which is very much based on the specific use case and the application. And of
So,
course, the
so
government
as
subsidies.
Amit also mentioned that he sees the penetration going up to 20%, but government has set the aim of 30% penetration by 2030. How do you see the pace, and do you think that aim is achievable, or what are your views?
It's a number on an Excel sheet. The government's already offered plenty of supply side incentives, PLI, etc. Tomorrow they offer a demand side incentive. GST goes down to 0%, etc. on EVs. You can hit that ball. You can hit the ball out of the park. I don't think the penetration number is what is important. I mean, just for this audience over here, the gentleman sitting to my, we're talking about change here, right? Who will get that change? The gentleman sitting on my left over here. 5 years back, could any one of you have predicted that he will own 2,000 electric vehicle cars, in which all of you will be riding in Delhi? None of you will be owning it. You will all be paying him a per ride cost, or he'll be working on a B2B model wherein he's providing 500 cars, 700 cars to a corporate working electric vehicles. Tomorrow, 30% is possible. He just needs to get a private equity to invest in him and say that, why don't you go ahead and buy 20,000 cars? And there you go. That's the road to 30%, right? Yeah. So essentially, you have to look at it from a lens to say that, how does it make practical sense for that business to evolve? Now, I think the bigger change that you got to understand is, I came dressed for 40 under 40 so that I can blend into the 40 under 40 crowd here. But I think the big change that I'm anticipating is not just from a product perspective, but a lot of these products will be put into services. Like he doesn't make anything. He doesn't make any car. He doesn't make any electric vehicle. He doesn't make any battery. He doesn't make any BMS. But he still runs a business of, I don't know how many, 2,000, 2,500, about 1,000 cars, right? 1,000 electric vehicle cars. So I think a lot of the new generation is moving from owning products to owning services. The pattern of ownership is anticipated to change. So it will go away from ownership to usership. So somebody like him could say that, I can go and increase my business from 1,000 electric cars to 30,000 electric cars by getting himself funded through a private equity. And then your 30% target is back on game, right? So I don't think it's the exact number to my mind that is important. And I really love the point, I'm going to pick his point on circularity, right? What happens with an electric vehicle is, look at a three-wheeler, for example. Three-wheeler can be an electric, can be an ICE. Why does the electric vehicle make sense? Because the minute you drive more than 80 kilometers per day, that three-wheeler, instead of getting, to a certain rupees per kilometer, drops by like 30%. So it becomes, so anywhere where there is a closed loop of operations, where somebody's going to start from where we are and in the evening come back and finish where we are because he has a fixed charging spot available to him, the business makes sense. Anywhere where the asset ownership of the product leads to revenue, you will see electrification happen first. So when you look at the pyramid, where is the asset ownership of a product leading to revenue? People like him, fleet, right? Fleet will get electrified, but somebody who only drives a car, say 5 kilometers a day from his house to his place of work and then comes back home, would he want to get electrified up front? Maybe no. He would say, it doesn't make sense for me to pay 50% more for an electric vehicle right now. I would rather wait to a point in time wherein I have to drive 80 kilometers a day or 90 kilometers a day. So it will actually go down from product ownership to usership It will actually be where there is a closed loop use, wherein the product is tied to a revenue source that will get electrified, and eventually it'll be demand side incentives from the government. Depends on how seriously the government wants to reduce their how many petrodollars they want to save by saying, please, I don't want to pay Saudi Arabia, I may as well pay somebody else to buy lithium from them.
So majorly you're saying that government is being over ambitious. What I summation it can.
Please, I'm saying nothing of that sort. I think the ambition level of the government, to my mind, is great.
Okay.
If they don't think, who else will? Technically, the government's job is to think big, is to think and then put in things. I mean, look at what they've done with GST recently, right? They've just propelled the whole car industry quite tremendously. So, to my mind, it is in the government's financial. If you think of the government as a business, it's in their financial interest to move to EVs because they'll save so many petrodollars that they have to give out. It's as simple as that. So they will definitely go all out and try and see how many more electric vehicle products they can get on the street.
All right. So Nimish, Som spoke about your business. So fleets come with it. So
Som has actually spoken on my behalf. Thank you for that. So
I just need to get my marketing piece.
yes, yeah, absolutely.
sure. So running an EV fleets come with own challenges. So if you can elaborate, what operational challenges do you face daily?
So I'll just like to elaborate on what Som just made a point quickly. Now, we've seen a shift of generation. If you go 10 years back, 15 years back, the first thing that someone who starts a job would want to have a car. No, that's the first statement that you wanted to make, which is not the case with the generation right now. Now, please remember, we are currently about 65% under 35 years. Okay, so that's driving the sentiment out there. Who says it's not an asset for me? Yeah, I've got to service it. I've got to take it to the service station. I've got to put in fuel. I rather have someone who can just someone like me whom I pay and I use, right? And there's a whole amount of consciousness around the service, because when you're driving for yourself and when you've been driven by someone, the expectations changes, right? So with the change in the overall sentiment in terms of whether you want to spend that money on acquiring an asset which eventually turns out to be a liability, or you want to spend it on your lifestyle. So the current youth says, I would rather spend it on my lifestyle and probably spend some more little money and invest in my mutual funds or in SIPs and have my dream car later. Okay, so that's the shift that has happened in terms of the consumer psyche, so to say. Now, in terms of challenges, like we've seen, we've been operating since 2019 in Delhi NCR, when we had cars which would run from, which had a range of about 80 kilometers, and there were just two variants available in the market. And Delhi NCR would have close to about 60 charging stations, of which only 30 would work, right? And you don't have drivers who would understand auto transmission. They're more used to manual transmissions. So there was a whole lot of journey that we have covered. And this journey from there we have covered, today we have a range of about 500 kilometers a car. In Delhi NCR, you've got about close to 4,000, plus 4,000 charging points available right now. Yes, there are challenges which we keep facing in terms of the battery performance. The battery performance also has improvised over a period of time. If you really see, with a 3-year warranty, now we're getting a 6-year warranty covered in the insurance as well. But still, there are a lot of challenges in terms of the predictability of the technology. Technology still is not predictable because we've only seen very few OEMs coming up with the products. If we have more OEMs and there are more test use cases on the ground, that is where we'll say that yes, this is a more predictable technology in terms of the battery and the performance of the car. Okay. So one is that predictability challenge. Two, which is more on an operating side, I would say a very basic core thing. If you have a small error in your car, you would probably go somewhere, someone across the road, the mechanic out there, wo aapka sab kuch theek kar dega and you're done and dusted. But out here, you've got to take it to the workshop. Okay. Now, workshops have their own limited capacities. While we've probably have about 1,000 cars, but then workshops are limited, and they have their own efficiencies to handle. So, for a fleet operator like me, if my one car is off the road for about 8 to 10 days, it's a massive loss. I think that part is somewhere where OEMs will need to work and collaborate with us more, which they are doing right now. But yes, still, I think that's a journey that still needs more focus. And two, I think I have been really listening a lot about charging infra. Charging infra, I'm sure as a fleet, we have our own internal uh, charging infra, where own captive charging infra. We have on-go charging tie-ups as well. But yes, there is a range anxiety to be dealt with. There's a range anxiety to be dealt with, even with the drivers and also on a private user. You just don't know whether I have to take a detour, whether I'll get a charging point or not. So my driver, if he sees the range at 40 kilometer, 40, he would still say, I would want to come back home and charge. So that's the more operating challenge that I see on the ground.
So overall, what you say is the consumer psyche is changing. So Poonam, what is your take? Previously, we used to say hardware on wheels. Now we say it software on wheels. How do you see the consumer psyche changing on terms of that? How do you see the trends changing there?
I definitely see that the value curve will shift towards the software for sure. Because that is what will be a differentiating factor if you ask me. Maybe when it comes to the mass segment, there I still see on the passenger vehicle side, there I think still the cost of ownership is something that will still influence the buying decision for the consumers at large. But then at the end of the day, what is going to be the real differentiation, if we ask about, or so to say a moat that that talks about the brand, is going to be the kind of software service or the enhanced software and the services that the OEMs are really providing. We are talking about premiumization. So I think that is where the enhancement on the software and the services will go nowhere. It is going to stay, and that is where the OEMs will be able to encash when it comes to the premium side. Otherwise, I think it just ends over there.
All right. So another topic that we're going to see in coming years by 2030 is the BS7 norms that the government is actively promoting and is thinking to roll out by 2027, by so to say. So Amit, if you can say, how do you see the norms rolling out for the commercial vehicle fleet, and what are your take on it?
So you're talking in terms of the norms?
Yes.
Yeah, so I mean, not much to say there, right? What at least from our perspective, we can say that if there are norms that are going to be something that need to be taken into account, we shall do that. Of course, there has to be a certain pathway towards it, which will have to be followed, and that has been. It's not the first time that we've been seeing some change in norms happening. You need to make sure that your technology at all points in time is fairly adept to do that. So OEMs, I think, at large have to take preemptive steps, and so shall we. When it comes to that stage where there are any changes which are impending.
Okay. Poonam, so how do you see that financially? Because moving towards BS7 norms, that will require massive capital for OEMs. How do you see that financially for OEMs?
See, we are yet assessing this, but the way we have analyzed it so far, if BS7 are going to be almost equivalent to what we are seeing as Euro 7 norms, then definitely the investment per vehicle that will be needed is going to be massive. But then if you ask from the OEM perspective, can they absorb this cost? Definitely. The way we are seeing is a part of it can easily be absorbed by re-engineering some of the existing platforms. And then to some extent, they will have to pass it on in the form of cost or the price hikes that will have to be taken, which has been the case in the past. When it comes to funding, they can easily fund it. The biggest concern or the thing, that will be critical is the timing. Because we are talking about CAFE 3 norms also, which are likely to come in. We are also talking about BS7 norms. Now, if they both get time, then they both are going to get implemented at the same time. Definitely, it could strain the cash flows. I won't say from the internal accruals because financially, most OEMs are very strong and healthy. So that's not really a concern. But it's the free cash flow that is what will get strained. So the way we are seeing, if it is all staggered way that if it will come, then definitely it's not something that OEMs can't absorb it. That is how we are seeing it, and that is what will become most critical, which will need to be watched in the time to come. Because it's still some time away. It's not something which is happening. I'm sure even government is watching that. So that is how it will depend.
All right, so that's the time to tell. But Natwar, how do you see one of the major challenges that we see today in the Indian auto sector? moving towards these technologies is the skill gap. We don't have enough workforce to handle all these technologies. You heading the vertical at the for people strategy. How do you see that shift and amongst the workforce?
First of all, electric, given an example of electric, is just a new normal now. It's not anymore emerging as a mainstream for most of our OEMs now. Point number one. Point number two is, yes, so when you look at the shop floor levels, when we hire flexi trainees, we hire apprentices, you still have courses which are at the ITI level, which are more mechanical diesel. You don't see courses which are on electrical. But eventually all this has been changing. So change has to come in very organic. But the manufacturers, the institutions and academies are working together and partnering it in building that content when it comes to the larger workforce which is on the shop floor. That's where the whole skill gap comes from. But let me put that very clear. But having said that, this change of having electric, of talking about AI is being, while there's very disruptive the way the product looks like, but this has not had a major impact on the automotive organizations. Let me put that very forward. Let's say I have an engine shop, right? It's manufacturing engine. Eventually I'll have to have, when I move to EV cars, I need to have motors. So most of the products, it's like that your entire engine is out. So just imagine a life of a person who has spent all across with building those engines. So, but it's not going to be as disruptive because today you're facilitated with technology. And let me be very clear that today in our shop floors, there's extremely smart floors. We have data engineers, we have data scientists right on the shop floor, so we know what's going on the floor. And that is an absolutely, we have organically prepared our workforce to transform, to manage the latest technologies. Today I'm talking about technicians who were managing just the CNC machines are actually managing robots. They know how to tweak those robots too. So there has been a change, and this change has been come very organically. But the concern is what happens at the shop floor when you hire a lot of young workforce coming up in those apprentices and trainees. Those are playing a key role, and that's where most of the organizations, not limiting to Hyundai, but most of the organization is going out of the territory and building that course and curriculum with academic tie-ups to ensure that the right blend of skills is there when they join the hands, build in the part of the product. So I think there's a gap, but this is not an area of concern at all.
There is a gap, but you mentioned about the AI. Do you see AI filling that gap, and what are the risks and challenges associated with AI?
There's no risk at all. I think AI is absolutely enabler. We have the AI we use in shop floors. I think this is something which is really scaling up, bringing a lot of efficiency on the table. So be it shop floor, be it the strategic work, be it office, be it all that what you do. I think AI has absolutely enabler for all of us. So giving you a very example today, products are, you have vision cameras, you have sensors, you have auto-populated, you are connected to AI machine learnings, which it understands, it takes decisions. So it's absolutely scaled up. For example, I'll give you, if you had the same workforce what we had a couple of years before, we have the same workforce now, but technology has improvised to that scale. It's helped us to scale up the production, bring it very fast. Today expectation is about in a minute 2 cars comes with the same quality levels. It's much more faster. We are extremely agile, and technology is helping that. So it's not a concern at all. It doesn't come from any risk.
Okay, so you see no risk with AI.
Not at all.
So what are your views? So you mentioned initially that the automotive industry is going to see a major shift in the coming 5 years that we have not seen in the past 50 years. So what shifts do you see? And we've also seen the GST rollout overall, that 2.0 that we've seen. How do you see that affecting in the coming years? And will we see the reduced price overall in the coming throughout years, or will we see some increased prices due to the BS7 norms and something?
It's a business, so business is very simple. There's demand and supply. Demand gets generated when the supply is available at a certain cost. If the cost goes down, demand goes up, and you'll see a small benefit of that coming through. I'm not saying that BS7 won't impact prices. I think BS7 will impact prices quite substantially. But I think, you know what, you got to look beyond short-term blips and long-term strategy. I mean, somebody asked you that question on software. I think, to my mind, what is available in your hand, which is a cell phone, is actually going to be more applicable as a technology product, even for somebody owning a car. Because you will have your car, right now you have your car talk to your cell phone, Android Auto, Apple Care, all of that. But you will actually have your car talk to your home appliances. You will have your car talk to your office appliances. You will have your car talk to your cell phone. You'll be able to do all your banking in your car. You'll be able to see all your entertainment in the car, etc. So the role of a car will actually move from being just a people mover to actually being a enabler for life. And that's the way you look at it. Like your cell phone right now is pretty much an enabler for life, right? You make your payments through it, you make your phone calls through it, connectivity is through it. Similarly, a car will also become an extension of you. Your moving product will also become which is not today the case. So that's where the change will happen, right? Right now, when you're talking of an auto industry, you have somebody like me sitting in, you have an OEM sitting in. I can pretty much guarantee you 5 years down the line, when you do this exercise, you will have somebody from an Airtel sit in. You will have somebody from, maybe a ONGC or, one of those oil majors sit in. You will have somebody from real estate sit in over here, because the chargers have to be put up at a real estate spot, right? So the change will not just be related and respected only to automotive. The change is at a much more ecosystem level, and you have to think of it that how will your moving product just not move you, but actually help you live a better life. And that's the change that you have to anticipate, and that is where the big money will be played out. I don't think the big money is going to be played out under the hood. Where what happens is, traditionally, when you talk to any OEM in the last 50 years, 70 years, where have they put in the money? They've put in the money to make better engines, better carburetors, better MPFIs, better powertrain, better batteries. I think all the money has gone under the hood. I think in the next 5-7 years, a lot of the money will go on the dashboard. Right? People will be spending a lot more money on the dashboard with look and feel and access and all of that, rather than something which is under the hood. So that's the big change that is anticipated to impact the industry. So you'll have a very different panel 5-7 years down the line, because that's the way the ecosystem will change.
All right. So running short on time, but one of the most important subject that we should be discussing is the e-waste. We rolling out to dispose.
Now, so we've been talking about reuse of the batteries, which is something where technology is evolving right now, and e-waste is going to be the next step, where how do you handle that eventually when it is out of life. So we've been all talking about the circular use of the batteries. So there is a lot of effort being made in terms of ensuring that how best these can have a longer life. They should have a longer life. Once they are used in the car, how can they be used in some other products? And post that, how can that entire thing be handled harmlessly as a waste, which I think is a journey that has to be traveled, and people are talking about it, but we've really not seen anything concrete happening on the ground. There are a lot of efforts being made. There's a lot of innovation and technology work going around, but yes, eventually, so to say, on the e-waste handling is something which still needs a real focus. Yes, we can probably have an elongated lifetime of the battery, but yes, what happens at the end of it is still a question mark.
Poonam, what are your views? How do you see the e-waste management going up?
So we are talking about EV adoption, which is going to rise, so which basically means that batteries and electronic waste is definitely going to increase. So having an e-waste management in place is critical and not really an optional thing for us. Uh, if you talk about, we already have something called as a battery waste management or rule kind of a thing in place, which government has already put in place, which basically says that there is a responsibility on the OEMs that where they will have to collect, recycle, and then even they have to intimate about it that what all has happened. Today, that is a very small variable. And I'll somewhere recall that at the end of the life cycle, what would really happen? So it's only when this stock will start piling up, is where this entire policies enforcement will get tested. And that is the time, the scale or the way OEMs are today really focusing on or trying to really dwell what should be the end recyclability that should be done. I think that is where it will get tested. It is still some time away, but the good part is that at least everyone is aware of it, that it needs to be looked at, and government has already put a rule in place. So I think we'll have to figure out ways how it will really happen, but that would be something very important that can't be rolled out.
That can't be ruled out. We're running short on time, so I'd like to close this panel on this note. And thank you all for all your valuable insights. The road to 2030, I believe it's going to be not just defined by technology, but it's going to be how we align the policy, people, and purpose. With this note, I would like to end this session. Thank you so much all for joining.
Thank you so much, and thank you, Utkarsh, for moderating that. We'll do a picture, please, with each one of you. Thank you. While they get the stage ready, next is a keynote address, and then we have someone's driven down from to reach here. Gurgaon, anybody who's come from? You, sir. काफी थक गए हैं आप. Usual, is it? Okay, Gurgaon, ma'am as well, sir. From Calcutta, you drive down. Then, sir, it's easy for you as compared to Noida. Anybody? Noida, anybody? You, ma'am, lovely. Are you going back now? Who stays the nearest to this venue? You, sir. You should be happy, why you? आपको तो एकदम that as well. 2, 3. Lovely. चलिए. Next, a keynote, after which we have the 40 under 40 award ceremony as well, followed by dinner. But for now, the keynote address, it is going to be delivered by, please join me in welcoming Ganesh.
Congratulations to the winners. I think most of you we could meet online, and happy to see all of you today on the stage. Me, on behalf of the entire jury panel, let's give a big round of applause to all of you who have made it happen. Thank you. Personally, there was a lot of learning for us also. That's what I said in the beginning. And for the noble cause of making 40 under 40, let's give a big round of applause to Businessworld and team also. That should be a bigger round of applause for all of us. I don't know whether it's a keynote address or whatsoever. So I think I should share my personal journey of 3 decades plus in the auto industry, between both pass car as well as commercial vehicle, now into a full-time EV. maybe I think all of you are from the automotive industry now. So maybe perhaps my address would talk in terms of how this leadership who have actually been recognized in the lovely forum here, how we can actually take it across to the next level, and also the kind of journey what we have taken during the process of selection as well. So, when this opportunity came to me, I said, first of all, being a chief jury is something like lifetime achievement award types. I mean, I've actually got to this level or not. But of course, being a 40 under 40 is an immense pride. We had a tough job, of course, which always every jury keeps saying about it. But there are certain few elements which we are looking out from each one of you. Some of the activities probably from the questions itself you would have understood. If you answered perhaps rightly, or maybe if you want to improve upon, I think this is the time to really move across. So it's, this is like a more than a window into an automotive destiny, I would say. This is the best period when a professional can actually move into the stepping stone of the faster track. This is what we have all gone through. And this period of time, whatever we are doing it right now, is going to help you in the next professional journey once you reach above 50. That's one of the areas. So while we were actually seeing this as a part of jury membership also, we didn't want to stop on what they are doing it alone. It's about the design thinking, what's a global ambition, and also just not only probing there what they have done, it's also in terms of credentials and what do they think. I think most of the questions have come, what do you think can India become 2047 in term as a part of Viksit Bharat, what your contribution can perhaps be also. So I think Make in India has been evolving and off late plays a very important role. Those of you who are in the industry would know about what a small magnet called rare earth magnet, which we are not even aware till last year. I think now it becomes everybody's table room is full of these important minerals. And there are multiple more which we are extremely dependent on, certain part of geopolitically difficulty. So from the world is flat perspective, I think world is actually getting converged into localized areas. So maybe at certain point of time, during COVID time, we already saw all those red and greens, and those who are, involved in this process, you would understand that between one state to other state, between one district to other district has become suddenly a problem. So I think as a whole industry, how we are evolving across is very important. And as our Honorable Prime Minister said, what is going to really make us better is to make in India. And in that to make in India, it's not only about make in India, it's about designed in India and also built in India, and we keep exporting to others. That's all the difference between our immediate neighbor and the north and who has actually proved their credentials, and we have a long way to go, and we should be able to do that also. The second aspect which we saw in the jury is also the kind of, the depth, confidence, the curiosity level, which was absolutely exhiberating by each one of you, and Hartesh, congratulations of it. And instead of that, questioning about the, instead of staying at the status quo, how each one of us can actually question ourselves to move to the next level. So probably I think that is one of the areas of how we can go to the next level. So I strongly believe that each and every organization should have a talent acceleration engine, and this could be led by each one of you in your own organization. In case if you take the lead, many of the people are not knowing also these kind of things are existing. So probably going forward with everyone from the industry, we also saw that whether it is a small scale industry, medium scale, or a large scale, this was actually equally spread out, and there are very specific professionals also which got involved. I'm sure it's going to go up in a much more better way. During jury round, fairness was definitely not a just checkpoint. It's actually a basic fundamental principle. Those of us who know a little bit also, we never participated in the competition. I mean, we didn't even, give a score to the people, and that's what, how things have also happened. So each one of you would have actually seen the way how we played during this time on Sunday. How did we actually India play against our immediate neighbor on the west side, and each one of you know that how the boys have actually elevated themselves in a 15 days of a time. How can they actually prove time and again, irrespective of having so many other challenges on the other side as well? So probably the time has come to really come out of the inhibitions of how we can do much better. I think this gives the biggest platform to my mind. And at the end of the day, what really happens is, certain few important takeaways in terms of carry this award as a torch, but not as a trophy, first and foremost. So use this as in a bigger way. Mentor someone younger to you. I'm sure a lot of people will be there. Sponsor someone who's has not been heard so far. Voice is weak. Do not outsource your core differentiators to the competition very specifically. Build upon them and convert ourselves into in-house as well. Think global from day one, and probably this could be one of the days of which is changing. And India is your launch pad, not the horizon. So this is a very important point I keep saying. Adopt a mindset of continuous learning, and that's what we have also always been exhibiting. Build beyond silos. That's very important. We could actually see that people keep talking about their own area. This is a time to really come across, and cross-functional, cross-domain knowledge goes ahead. And finally, hold yourselves accountable. First of all, for the ethicality, very simple and very important, and also to the industry, to the nation, and the whole people of India. I think that's what the important thing which we thought is critical on that. What are the opportunities which are possible? I think during your stage, a decade back, plus, we were not really having these many opportunities. We had only petrol and diesel only. You have to manage within this area. Fuel alone has got around 17 type of possible fuels have come. And the companies have started working on multiple methods of, we already heard from the panel, what all the avenues, where is it? Probably this is one area we have to probably handpick and start working towards these directional things. I think anybody who has become technically qualified, technologically superior, as an individual or as a company, I think they'll be respected more in the country also going forward. I think we are all looking forward as a OEM. We look forward to a lot of partners like this who can actually do that. So, having worked in a company like Maruti and Hyundai, I could see that how the country and the nation have built together as a whole ecosystem. I think probably that is what we need to do at this point of time. And maybe perhaps 30% of electrification maybe by 2030. If everything goes well, maybe hydrogen can take over sometime. If not, definitely LNG and the CNG will definitely take over. Connected cars will definitely take over. As what we are seeing it in the technological companies, like mobile companies are taking over in China, whether it is Huawei or, you talk about any of the top companies on that. I think that clearly indicates that the basic legacy is getting broken. And, instead of being a mere, service provider mode, people have already become. And in that note, I think, when we meet again, maybe under 50 or something at certain point of time, next time when you guys, I'm sure BW will also plan for those kind of activities. When you guys come here, I think you should be able to talk about how we develop the country to the next level. I think that could be one of the important criteria. On that note, wishing you all the best, and God bless all of you. Thank you. Thank you so much indeed. Thank you.
Chaliye, from the panel discussion, from Sir's keynote address, it is now time to witness the evening's celebration. Once again, my name is Aditya Malik. Extremely honored to welcome each one of you to BW Auto 40 Under 40 Awards. Saath mein milke, together we will recognize, celebrate your outstanding work. And a big thank you to all our partners as well, the Thick Shake Factory, Joy Travels Private Limited, Exchange for Media, IWM Buzz Impact, Pitch, Phantom, and Beanley Coffee. Today's award ceremony, it is being streamed live on all the social media channels of BW Businessworld, along with www.bwautoworld.com. Reminder, any picture, any view, any opinion that you share online, please use the hashtag BW Auto 40 Under 40, where 40 is numeric. As Sir spoke of the jury process and the entire nomination process of your awards till the time that I will be handed over the winner's sheet in the next couple of minutes or so. जब सब nominate करते हैं, this list that will be given, and I'm sure the AVs and all, everything is ready for that. It's an entirely fair based jury process for which we have an AV to show you कि क्या हुआ था from the day you filled your nomination to now. We'll first show you that, and after that we'll also hear from one of our jury members, from Dr. Batra, to formally welcome and open the award ceremony too. But first, and for now, the jury AV, please.
BW Automotive's 40 and 40. Going through those nominations, it honestly left me so much inspired. Thank you so much. You could feel the energy, the fresh ideas, and the hunger to push the boundaries from each and every individual, boys and girls who participated in that. What really mattered to me was the entire process. It ensured it had fairness, transparent, and rigorous. Every voice in the jury room, and illustrates here what really mattered to me was the entire process. We ensured it was a fair, transparent, and rigorous. Every voice in the jury room were absolutely ensured that we are the right persons to our future leaders, and that's the reason we finally, when we picked up the winners, we felt so immensely proud, and that's why we're out here today. Indian auto industry is actually going in the cusp of the biggest amount of transformations, whether it is electrification, sustainability, connected technology. I think with the leaders like you, I'm sure India is poised to become the greatest country in the world by 2047. As our Honorable Prime Minister said, Viksit Bharat, I think we are in the right hands of the greatest leaders as like you are. So our job is to really keep expanding this horizon, do not stop, and continue to grow in the world. To all the winners, congratulations. I also appreciate the BW's entire initiative of doing this, and also I tremendously learned so much from the fellow jury panelists also. Thank you very much once again. See you next time.
This is Rashmi Mukherjee, and I'm associated with the awards 40 under 40 for more than 3 years now. It's quite an heartening trend to see that young leaders on their successful journeys are adopting sustainability and inclusivity as their strategies. It's also heartening to see that there are many women, young women, coming forward and sharing their success stories. Even at least congratulations to all the winners as well as the other participants for showcasing their leadership and their success. I also would like to mention my experience as a jury member into the transparent and really open selection process.
Happy to be part of the business world of 40 under 40 yet again this year. Frankly, I really liked the way the process happened. Very transparent. The jury met with them online and heard them, and then scorings were taken, and the process, the way the contestants
gave their information on what they have done for the auto was awesome. Frankly, it was a learning experience for me also, where I could find how much is there to do in this auto world and people who are doing it. So best wishes to those who are in the process of getting this awards tonight. And the people who couldn't get, obviously, there is another year and we'll be again doing the same awards. Look forward to you coming back for that. And overall, I'm very happy to be part of this. Thank you, Businessworld, for calling me.
Can we please have a huge round of applause for all the jury members? I also have the names with me. The jury chair is with us, Ganesh Maniji, President and CEO of Ashok Leyland and CEO of Switch Mobility, along with Dr. Anurag Batra, the Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of BW Businessworld and founder of the Exchange Media Group, along with Saurabh Watts, Managing Director, Nissan Motor India. We also had Surya Khurana, Managing Director of Flixbus, along with Vinkesh Gulati, so is here, Executive Body Member, Federation of Automobile Dealers Association and Chairman, Automotive Skills Development Council, along with Sanjeev Handa, SVP, PR and Communications, Maruti Suzuki, along with Rashmi ji, along with Sharad Malhotra, Director and President, Automotive Refinishes, Nippon Paint India, and also Noor Fatima Varsia, Group Editorial Director, BW Businessworld. Before we begin with the award ceremony, to formally welcome all of you to share his vision and also the community's vision as a whole with each one of you, please join me in welcoming to the stage Dr. Anurag Batra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of BW Businessworld and founder of the Exchange for Media Group.
Give Aditya a big round of applause. He's been hosting our events since the morning. Clapping is good for heart muscles, so do it for yourself. And in some time you'll be up on the stage. They say life is all about karma. If you don't clap, people won't clap for you. And it's my honor and privilege to be here. First of all, my gratitude to all the jury members. Mr. Ganesh Mani is here. Thank you, Mr. Mani. We saw you on the jury. AV. I know this event was supposed to happen many months back. We normally do it before April, but this year it has happened late. But it's better to be late than never. Today also the rain gods were kind. If you look at it, it was very hot. Or if you look at the disruption rain causes, they're not so kind. And because of which the first event was running maybe 30 minutes too late. So apologies for that. But life is what you make up with what you get. And I don't want to stand between you and the winners. Some of your family members are here. I only want to say that I'm grateful. Mr. Gulati, our jury member, is here. He's been involved with the IPs from the day it was started. First year, Mr. Nitin Gadkari was our chief guest. He gave away the awards. I can only say that that was 40 shortlisted people to show to the jury. Mr. Saurabh Vatsa, gratitude to you. Mr. Surya Khurana, gratitude to you. Mr. Gulati, of course. My friend, Mr. Sanjeev Handa, I can't see him. Sanjeev, are you here? I can't see him. Apart from being a senior VP PR and communications earlier, he was head of marketing. He was also the head of the used car business at one point, Maruti. Rashmi ji, you just heard, and he's again been associated with the awards. We don't give any brief to our jury member. We are only custodians of the process, and you are lending your name, no brief for against in all our awards. Nobody would have asked you money. Of course, there are, I do many awards and I'm not on the back foot. We do it because we have a locus standi. We're an editorial product in the 45th year. BW Auto World is a young product, and auto media publishing is a very competitive landscape. I understand that because of my exchange for media. We do our awards honestly. There may be a participation fee, registration fee. That doesn't ensure an award. So I just want to say that to the family members, parents, brothers, sisters, friends who are in this room, all the winners tonight have been selected through an honest process. I keep saying that no process is perfect. No awards is perfect. People judging people. Though we bring the data, we bring your entries. It's the expert view of industry leaders who are on the jury. But at the end of the day, Sachin Tendulkar also gets out or used to get out some days on low scores. So I know in some awards, some of the worthy members are not able to sometimes get selected because on that particular day you didn't bat well. So to say, that doesn't mean awards are a process of elimination. I can say that we do more than 75 awards in various industries, and I keep saying only three people who are perfect. One is Lord Shiva, I'm Hindu. Second is my wife, and third is Mr. Modi. Rest everybody is imperfect. Okay, so no process is perfect. It's a good thing you're celebrating it, your success, and I want to end by saying 2, 3 things that I feel should be. I was a young business person who passed out of MDI in '96. I'm from the first batch of MBA from MDI. Grew up in Old Gurgaon. My parents are academicians. My father is alive. I lost my mother last year. So both are academicians, and I worked for 5 years before I started Exchange for Media. Those of you come from the advertising, marketing, media background, it's the #1 community for advertising, marketing, media. In fact, we do an auto marketing awards, which is in the second year. We had almost every CMO of the auto industry on our jury and as a speaker. So I was lucky enough to build a community in the marketing, advertising, media space. This is the 25th year of that community, and I believe it happens because of God's blessing and my parents' blessings. And I just want to say that we do a lot of awards. We take our awards seriously. The industry takes our awards seriously. But success in life is a lot about what your parents do, what your grandparents do. And I genuinely believe unke sukarmo ka phal hame milta hai. What they sow for many years. My grandparents, I was lucky to meet my maternal grandmother and my paternal grandfather. I didn't see my dadi and I didn't see my nana, but yes, till the age of 19 I was with my nani, or my nani was with me, and till the age of 10, I saw my dada. So I genuinely believe the good work that your parents, your ancestors do does count. We give too much credit to ourselves for our success. We may work hard, we may be good at what we do, all that matters. Those are logical explanations. But really success comes. I read this book called Fluke 6 months back. I keep referring to it, that life is all about, serendipity. I don't like the word fluke. It's about chance, luck. I'm a Hindu, so prarabdha, it's preordained, right? So I think the only thing I'd say is humility matters. You all are doing well, you're young. I'm sure you'll go on to build big companies, do well in the companies that you're part of. As founders, you'll be able to make an impact. The most important thing is humility. Today, because of social media, nobody is humble. Everybody likes to show off. Everybody. I mean, I'm not including myself, okay? I'm like you, I'm a normal person, right? But I think the only thing I'd say is that we give ourselves too much credit for our success and too little for our failures. The second thing I want to say, I was saying it we had our healthcare gratitude circle, and it was an oncology summit. And the most important thing is hope. I get up every day and, my life is almost perfect. But, some days are better than others. And some days are low energy too. It depends on how much I've slept, what I'm thinking. I've been an entrepreneur for 25 years. God's been very, very kind. But I always believe that tomorrow will be better than today. Today is a great day because I am alive. I'm doing well. I'm doing what I love. So first have humility. I'm sure all of you have. Some of you are married, so humility comes naturally to married people, right? I've been married for 25 years to the same person. Thanks to her, not too much credit to me. So hope is the most important thing. And I meet, last week, I was at my Impact 30 Under 30 jury. And it was a physical jury. I like physical juries. We do too many virtual, I don't like. Because the quality of interaction in physical juries is a different level, and I have done enough to know. So Impact, Prasoon Joshi was our jury chair in advertising, and all the 100% jury members were physically there. And all the shortlisted 60 members out of 300 were there. Last year at the awards, all the 29 winners and all the 12 jury members were there. One winner wasn't there. Out of 30, 29 were there. She was getting married. So it was a good reason not to be there. Though for some people, I say the event is more important or the marriage is more important. But I think the marriage is very important. So I just want to say that I met young people, and advertising and media is going through its own change. And I heard their ideas and their optimism. They had to make video reels which were presented for 3 minutes, then they talked for 3 minutes, 4 minutes, we asked them question, it sometimes stretched to 10. And honestly, me pursuing some of the other people in the industry, we said, if this is the people that we are betting our industry on, we are in safe hands, we have optimism. AI is not going to disrupt our business in the way we have been thinking, because AI in advertising is creating a lot in very little investment. So it's clearly taking away the remuneration that used to come by creating it, and many other disruptions in content creation and so on. So really, I can say, looking at the list, I did look at the list a couple of days back. The winners are such that it gives me hope for the industry. And last, I want to leave by saying the most important thing is whatever you focus on grows. The best example is to say that if you carry a bottle of water for too long, your hand pains because you're focusing on that. So maybe I'm old-fashioned, middle class. I believe in hard work. There's no substitute. Whatever you focus on will grow. Of course, these are logical reasons, hard work and all. I really believe in this, but we don't know what's in store. But we know that we can give it our best, focus, stay hopeful, stay humble, and work hard to be able to create the future we want to create for our families, for ourselves, and the impact we want to create. I don't want to stand between you and the awards, but congratulations to the families. I see some of the parents are there. I have two young kids, my daughter just turned 21 and my son just turned 17. So I know that, how children and what they do are important for parents. And as I said, it's Navratri, and Navratri means my mother making all the Navratri food, and this is the first Navratri without my mother. Last night I went to the Chhatarpur Mandir after maybe 30 years. I remember I was very young and my mother took me there, and I feel whatever I have achieved is because of both my mother and father's blessings. Of course, my mother is blessing me from heaven. So really congratulations to all the parents, because parents are the only selfless people. I mean, you meet friends that are very selfless. I have some friends in my life who are and I have been recipient of kindness of lots of people. This journey hasn't happened from, a lot of people have helped me. So congratulations to the families and parents. The journey of children is equally the journey of parents. And I congratulate the families equally. Please give a big round of applause to Utkarsh. Utkarsh has put this together. He's a polite, mild-mannered person, and he does a fab job for us. I think we have to expand his team to give him more resources so he can do an even better job. So Utkarsh, thank you for doing this. With this, I would say gratitude for being here, and let's celebrate the success of everyone who comes on stage with a loud round of applause. And I'm sure the karmic balance that you build up with applause will come back to you. Of course, I started Exchange for Media as a digital project and a digital product. I wanted to build a marketplace for the media industry. This is the latest issue of BW Businessworld. This is the 45th year of Businessworld. I acquired it in the 35th year, so I owned it for almost 11. And of course, we built a digital business as Exchange for Media. I started in digital, but I can tell you the power of this cover is huge. There's no, I come from a generation, I'm used to buying magazines, reading magazines, and if you have a good editorial product, and you discover new people. The job of a media company and an editorial product is to discover new people, to discover new ideas, to be able to bring new innovations. I think that we as Business World are able to, this is a company, the Inox Group, most people think of it as Inox PVR, and that's also Inox Group. But the Inox GFL Group, it's an $18 billion company. He's never been in media, so there is a novelty value. Of course, Mr. Ambani, Mr. Adani, Mr. Tata now in heaven, they are great players for our industry. They're creating impact, employment foreign exchange, jobs, so on and so forth for us. But as a media product, I've always believed in discovering new people. When I started Exchange for Media, today I can see around in advertising, marketing, media, people who are CEOs of top 100 companies, maybe 60, 70, we discovered when they were very young. So I think when we are discovering you, some of you won other awards, I've been briefed, but really we are an editorial product and we see our awards also as an editorial product. So look forward to reading your stories both online and in print, and print is never going to die. In fact, like the more AI grows, the more virtual grows, the power of you being in a room, human touch will grow. And as Mark Cuban says, the more the AI grows, you would want to meet a person in in the same room sharing your breath. Similarly, the more digital grows, the value of print will grow. As long as the product is good, that's the only rider I would put. So please do give us feedback on our products. In 27 industries, we built B2B communities. We don't call it a magazine, website, events. We call it a community, samudaya, for those who understand that word. And because, as I said, my background is to be able to build India's #1 community in advertising, marketing, media, which is the 25th year and has stayed #1. And I don't run it, it runs on its own. That's my vision for Business World. Someday I don't have to come to the event. My team does it like I do it in Ephraim. But for now, congratulations. Do engage with our editorial teams. Mr. Royal Amin, our senior editor, and many other colleagues are here. Tomorrow in the same room, we have whole day the BW Disrupt 40 under 40. I want to tell you that when you go on to watch Shark Tank, two other Shark judges write winners of BW 40 under 40. And they've gone on to say that that was the first award they got. And in those days it used to be a physical jury. They would show up. I don't want to drop names, but 2 jury members. So we've discovered many people in our 40 under 40 whose first award will be tomorrow. There are 4 listed companies whose founders are getting awards who are less than 40. And Shri KJ Alphonse, who's the former tourism minister, former bureaucrat, author, is our chief guest. Also, some of you know Sudhir Chaudhary as his media avatar. Of course, he's a friend of mine. And he's still an entrepreneur. He has a deal with Doordarshan. He now does a show, and he'll be also here talking about his entrepreneurial journey. And we have 40 of those winners talking during the day about their journeys. So really, that's a whole day initiative tomorrow. On 9th, we have our BW Security World 40 under 40 and our BW Security World Conference. Shilpa Jandel leads that community, and she's put together a very powerful lineup of speakers. In November, we have India's most sustainable companies. We have a 3-day offsite of India's top 100 CFOs in Amritsar in November. So there's a lot that Business World is doing. This is things I can remember off the head, but there's a lot more happening in our legal community, in our sustainability community, and other 27 communities. Last Monday and Tuesday, we had a BW Hotelier event at the JW Marriott in AeroCity. It is the #1 community in hospitality. We had 800 general managers for 2 days. With us, we had the top CEOs of hospitality, 1 to possibly 60 in that room. So it's the #1 community that God has helped us build. I hope in auto, in the next 2-3 years, we can be #1 between the 1, 2, and 3, because I know how competitive that is. My friend Hormaz, who runs Autocar, and so I know all the ones because of my Exchange for Media background. And I missed investing in some who have become very big. They came to me for investment, and I missed investing for various reasons. So I wish you luck. I got an opportunity to share what we are doing, so I've taken the stage. But please give a big round of applause to Utkarsh and my Business World team. There is an audience team, marketing team, sales team. There's a lot of people who work with Utkarsh on this. And Utkarsh, as I said, is a very polite person. He wants to say something, we say very politely, and I value that a lot. So thank you, Utkarsh.
Also, we are being joined by another of the jury members here in this very room. Please join me in welcoming to the stage Pinkesh Gaurati, Executive Body Member, Federation of Automobile Dealers Association and Chairman of Automotive Skills Development.
Coming late, the flight from Lucknow was late, delayed for an hour. And you know Delhi traffic, and that too in festive season, it's a different thing. So, very frankly, standing in front of you after what Anurag ji told us, said so long, I feel it's not worth it. Thanks for the emotional speech, Anurag ji. We know what business world is, but the depth, the detail you have given is awesome. I hope Utkarsh agrees to your point, and next time we have a physical jury, because that is what we also strive to. This COVID has actually moved us from being physical to virtual, and that is not where the learning actually happens. It's an information which goes from one side to other side, and if you have missed something, you have missed it. So you don't get to ask too many questions, and the paucity of time gives you that. But I'm happy the way BW has been doing this awards, and the way Utkarsh and team is managing. It's always like I already told you, it's always a great learning process for me. I mean, this line for 35 years today, and the dealer association, the skilling, myself a dealer, and everything, the learned, whatever it is. And but every time I am in a part of the jury, I come to know at least 5 to 10 new scope of new work which teams are doing, and that is an awesome thing. So learning continues, that I agree, but I'm happy again saying the same thing, that to be the part of the jury, it's really transparent, and our chairman sir has very well organized the full time, and I was really happy to see him giving 4 or 5 hours that day. Um, the point is different, that I was that day in Bombay with signing an MOU with Bharat Petroleum, and then the side I was in the part of that jury, but couldn't leave this, and I'm happy that Business World has involved me in it. You all have done great, no doubt in that. You all have done great, and it was tough for us to say no to anybody, because everybody who Business World or Utkarsh has chosen to bring in front of jury, they are doing the best in their parts, and you all presented well. I'm happy that whosoever gets the award, because we also don't know, it has been done by the team. Congratulations to all of you, and hope that next time we meet physically, so we are able to learn more from you. Thank you, Anurag ji, thank you, Utkarsh and team, and thank you, BW.
Thank you so much. With that, now for the awards, a couple of requests. अगर आपने अभी तक अपनी video bite नहीं दी है to the editorial team outside, please do so. If you've not given your video bites for the editorial team, please do so outside. Once you've received your award and you step down from the stage, please proceed to stage left and audience right for an individual picture, again for promotion purposes. इसी के साथ let's move ahead with presenting the awards, and to do so, let's welcome on stage Dr. Anurag Batra, Chairman and Editor-in-Chief of BW Business and the founder of the Exchange Media Group, along with Ganesh Vaniji, President and COO of Ashok Leyland and CEO of Switch Mobility. We try and do this. MC Motor.
To add on to that, not कि वो सब्सिट्यूट आवाज वो नहीं है, आपको भी साथ में करनी है. Just to let you know. Congratulations to that. The next vendor joining the BW Auto 40 under 40 days. That Nirmal, Vice President, Supply Network Quality and Resiliency, India, Volvo Group. Joining the top list for BW Auto 40 under 40. From our Associate Director, Single Interface. I absolutely love how it becomes so difficult for a boy to consult to now manage this audio partner with your partner. But then, the next one, you're in the top list of BW Auto 40 under 40 for this year. Rajanan Subhash, our Assistant General Manager of Project for Auto Volkswagen. Moving ahead, the next member, joining the top list of 40 under 40 this year. Across the CEO of Novak Innovation. Congratulations. Viewers, here's a picture, it's a reminder, remember, on the BW Auto 40, I mean that 40 list this year. This is from the Senior Product Manager, Stellantis. Remember, joining this class and this 40 first class. Instructor, go founder and chief operating officer, go mechanic. That's why Badel vertical head, Eagle strategy, Hyundai Motor India. Member joining this very important list of BW Auto 40 and the 40. John Butani, MD and CEO of Voices Green. I think I know right the words that you said for parents and families. Thank you for acknowledging that. Congratulations, Uncle Auntie. Happy to have you with us.
Right? Doesn't make me feel like I'm doing anything wrong, even if I when mom can have impact that nobody can have, right? So I think the best do spend more time with your parents.
We also have a young entrepreneur in the audience who is not so happy with this animal. He doesn't have a so what about the next one? Member, join us off of this BW Foxy, I mean, Foxy. Come on, the co-founder and chief of electronic Lapa Industry. If you decide the next member, join the popular list of BW Auto Software at the X. This will be head. Program management areas Mahindra Truck and Truck. Because the next member, joining with very popular for something under the BW Autos. Also, we're here, co-founder and CEO of Electric. Congratulations, brother. And next member, BW Auto Foxy and F46, joining us. Richard Goswami, Director, Green Valley Group, Guwahati. Next member, join the popular store.
where is Mr. Rohit Shukla and Mr. Royal? I mean, it'll be nice to just have Tuesday and Ratri, no non-veg. Right? You are executive director and board session.
Just to be accurate, this is not any ranking. This is everybody just Coming the part of the house. Can I find out when the part of this coffee, the order after coffee on the screen, please? Go ahead. This is our corporate technology office and innovation in the Minga. One the top of list of BW 40 and the factory. About Sinha PM PDE at IBM. Pasangkat to everybody. One the top of list of BW 40 and the 40 edition. Bharat, the speaker, managing director, and Indo-Pacific. Moving ahead, the next number is on the top of the list of BW Auto 40 and the 40. Symbol, the Windsor production of box building software technology. Next number, one on the top of the list of BW Auto 40 and the 40. One Birani, Chief Manager, E-Mobility and Trucking, 36 Classic, Audi India. Now the next member, joining this bottom list of BW Auto 40 and the 40. Arun Narang, Assistant Manager, Director, One Thing Aluminium, Real India. What is your parents? I love how fast only both are making videos of Varun. Varun express mind for Papa's change person. For him, the change also yours. Cover themselves very well. Right? Father, mother, all these people.
ये वाली में ज्यादा स्माइलिंग आनी चाहिए, ये मैं आपको बता सकता हूँ।
Varun, a big round of applause.
No, absolutely.
Congratulations to you and the entire family as well. Happy birthday, Roy. Next member, the powerful is for BW Auto Shop 3 and Shop 3. Founder, powerful automotive.
Too many people from Chennai, but it's because Chennai is an
Of course, automotive and I've been in Gurgaon for 25 years. I still believe to be wrong.
why are you even taking
The reason for me is also
yeah. By the way, I'm really from Haryana. I grew up in Old Gurgaon.
I was born in Rajasthan. And it is mostly South India across India. So that's a joke, but it's true also. South India.
Love it.
Congratulations. Big news. So the next member is going to possibly the 20 and the 40 BW Auto for this year. Sukumaran, Head of Technical Risks and Data Management, WBS and Strategy Innovation, NSSA Industry, WBS, CCI, Amovio, and CI. Listen, the next, it's a category change, it's a leadership award. This is an R&D excellence award. And this is this is the point, the legacy. Dr. Narayana, V, Vice President and Head of R&D, Amsterdam. Hello, everybody. Congratulations. It's a leadership award again, but this time for digital transformation leader, and the winner is Rakesh Kumar Logan, Senior Director and Global Head, Digital Transformation, was software and digital solutions. Congratulations. Moving ahead, leadership award again, that is the Green Mobility, and there are two awards. The first is Raghav Rohira, co-founder and CPO of Electric Scale. The next award is again for Green Mobility Pioneer, and this one goes to from the Samadikal President, Accurate Industrial Control. Make each leadership award again for Sustainability Pioneer of the Year. We've got our CEO of Beta Materials, Circular Market. Congratulations, Nitin. We now come back to our last few awards, which are again 40 under 40 members. Next number, one looking at the Coming is our one entrepreneurial founder, Robert King Dyer. We have with us Mr. Raja, yes, being a manager receiving the award on behalf of Kevin. Kevin and Raja. For the next one, BW Auto 40 under 40. Joining us, next member. Rocket Gupta, founder and MD Evergreen Recycling Karo, India. We are asking for Manish Chaudhary, the business head, to receive the award on behalf of Rajesh. Every time happen, we also received a video message from them as a thank you. First, thank you, sir. Today, the popular co-founder of Motorrad. There's video.
Entire whole team and the entire BW Auto.
Yes, to me. And the next member joining the BW Auto for this is development in head design segment. Previously, Vice President kept the head of IT.
Because of some prior commitment. The noise interactions and access.
Okay. Congratulations to another winner. Video हमारे पास नहीं है which is Varun Panji, President, Corporate Finance of Car Trade Tech. We can applaud for him, though he's not here now. इसी के साथ of BW Auto Stock.
Especially when we do new and the jury members. I can tell you that by experience being in the media for 20. Because luckily you have time to talk to each other. Collaboration. Sometimes you don't have work and from the photo and everything. Otherwise, you can send a video, right? I don't believe in videos, but yes, genuinely when people can't come, it's okay. We respect their reason for not being here, and sometimes they really want to be here, but they work for companies or something. And in some cases, sometimes we've informed the winners only 2 days, 3 days before, because the final jury list wasn't done. Some jury members traveling. Sometimes the tickets are too expensive. They are. prohibitively if you have a Delhi Bombay ticket at 30,000 rupees. Sometimes it doesn't make sense to, but right now there is travel sale happening. So even if you miss your flight, you can buy the next ticket at 5,000, 4,000, 6,000. I know it. My wife runs a very large travel business. So I know that. So do talk to each other, collaborate, and congratulations to all the families, especially. We have a group photo with the winners. Get your trophies. And I get some fees of Mr. Malik for anchoring the show. Both of us have been great anchors. Please clap for us. When I grow up, I want to be like you.
Yes, sir.
But you're unmarried, right? Still unmarried. You want any help?
Only no sharing of the fees, sir. Baki sir.
ठीक है चलिए. He does a fab job. Please give Aditya a big round of applause.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thanks, sir. Served. Happy moments are yours. Thank you.